Alright. 323. 320. 332. Let me try to get a overcharge here. Let's see. That guy right there. There we go. Overcharge. 428. 428. 440. 440. 440. Dang. 440. 77. That's the highest I've ever seen it so far. 440. 77. And that's on my assault turret. That's pretty crazy, man. And there goes that room. Alright, nice. Very nice. There we go. Overcharge. 384. Not getting it. Oh, there we go. 430. 434. There we go. 434. That's weird. The other one was 440. I wonder what's different here. Alright, overcharge over. And it's over. Alright. Let's clear this floor out. Yo, so easy, man. I love it. $430. 535. 391. What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be the hardest hitting assault turret build in the game. I know this for a fact. You will not be able to get higher damage, at least by yourself. I'm sure with a certain crew, if they're running certain talents and skills that help buff your damage even more, you could get higher damage numbers. But as far as by yourself, this is the best you can do by yourself. I am hitting 395k per bullet on my turret by myself. Now, if I am with a team and they are running certain gear sets, certain talents that help buff my damage, then I can get it up above 440k per bullet. I'm sure with the right team and the right synergy, I could probably get it up to 500, but I haven't really tried that out. But I know for a fact that this is the hardest hitting you will be able to get by yourself. So with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. Now here it is. This is the hardest hitting turret build in the game. If you really want to test it, go for it. Try to make one that hits harder, because you will not find it. This has skill damage maxed out on every single piece of gear. This has 3-piece hardwired, which gives you that 15% extra skill damage instead of Murakami, where you only get 10%. It has 1 wyvern wear, so I get 10% more skill damage. It also has the talent's perfect glass cannon, giving me amplified damage of 30%. And then also I am running perfect combined arms, giving me another 30% skill damage. Now, with the primary, I am running perfectly in sync. So with that active, that's another 40% skill damage, because once you have both of the in syncs active, you get double the reward. So what I do is I run it with the mechanical animal with perfect, well, future perfection. And with future perfection, what this does is I can get overcharge, and when I get overcharge, I'll switch over to my harmony, use the perfectly in sync, and that's how you get all of those stupid high numbers. Now you can see everything on this build, they are all yellows. Everything on this build is yellow except for one core attribute, and that is my chess piece, the sacrifice. Reason being is that I am running the technician specialization, which grants me +1 skill tier. So that kind of makes it to where you can run perfect glass cannon and not have to worry about it affecting your build in any sort of bad way. Now, as far as my sidearm, I am using the new named pistol within sync. There's no real rhyme or reason to that. You could use a shotgun if you want. I'm using my primary weapons only, and this is just for like really like last resort type of deal, because these first two weapons do enough for me. Especially running that sacrifice, I do get 1 red, so I do have more base weapon damage compared to your normal skill builds. Now, a lot of you might be asking why Hardwired and not Murakami, and I'll show you right now. So here, let's just compare gear set bonuses to brand set bonuses. Now, I'm well aware that you can get, 2 attributes per high-end item. As for gear set items, you only get 1 attribute. However, for this build, that doesn't really matter. So looking at Murakami gives you skill duration, which isn't horrible. Gives you repair skills, which if you're running like a damage healer type of deal, that would be really good. And then it gives you 10% skill damage, which is what a lot of you guys go for, is the 3 Murakami. I would highly disagree with that premise. I would go with the Hardwired 3-piece instead of the Murakami 3-piece. And, well, here's why. So you can run skill haste and skill damage on all your Murakami pieces to get that skill haste that you want and have that skill damage. That's cool, but you're still not going to get enough skill damage. Looking at the 3-piece Hardwired, you get the 15% skill damage. You will not get 15 out of Murakami. Even if you roll them all to skill damage, you're still not going to get enough damage compared to the 3-piece Hardwired. So what I did is on all 3 of my Hardwired pieces, I rolled max skill damage, because this is a turret damage build. I don't care about skill haste. Skill duration I'm kind of spec'd into, and you'll see why here in a second. But as far as the build overall, this is the hardest hitting combination you will have. There's nothing else out there, I'm telling you right now. Because with the Murakami, you're losing skill damage. You might be able to increase your skill haste or your skill duration, that's cool and all. But as far as skill damage, you will not be able to beat this. Even with running 2 Hana U, and then say you run normal glass cannon, you're still not going to beat the perfect glass cannon amplified damage, because you would increase your skill damage by maybe 10%, but you're losing amplified damage, and that amplified damage equates to more damage overall and more damage per bullet than if you were to run normal glass cannon and then just try to spec into more skill damage. So again, run skill damage on all your pieces and you should be good. Now let's start off at the specialization. I am using the technician specialization. Reason being is you get 10% skill damage from the tree. So if you're not running technician, automatically you're already running a lower turret than you already could. Also, you get that +1 skill tier. So I'm able to run the sacrifice chess piece with weapon damage because I have that technician. So they kind of, cancel out. So in turn, I am getting more weapon damage for my weapons, and I still have that tier 6 with perfect glass cannon. And that's what you want. You want the perfect glass cannon with the perfect combined arms, and also the perfectly in sync. There's a lot of pieces in here that are revolving, so you have to do it in a certain way, and I'll show you guys right after this build breakdown. I'm sure you saw the gameplay and you think you can figure it out, but I'll dumb it down for you as soon as I'm done with this breakdown. So technician specialization, you can use whatever grenade you want, it doesn't matter, just make sure you're running technician. Also, when you're running your specializations, make sure they're spec'd into the weapon types that you're using. So for example, I'm using the rifle, assault rifle, and pistol. So in my specialization tree, I have these three activated, that way you get that plus 15% damage. Now looking at the weapons, primary, for the most part it's actually the mechanical animal, and if you saw my gameplay you'll know why. What I do is I go straight for the kill first. You want to get that overcharge. So the mechanical animal is a named assault rifle. This one it comes with future perfection. So weapon kills will grant you a skill tier. However, if you're already at skill tier 6, it'll give you overcharge. Now this overcharge only lasts for 15 seconds, but in those 15 seconds you can do a lot of damage. I'm telling you. Now the cooldown is 90 seconds, so you just have to bear with it while it goes on that cooldown, and then you can whip it out and do it again. Now this one, 78k on the total damage with max AR damage at 15%, 18% health damage, and then I actually have damage to targets out of cover, which is really good in my opinion. So there's that. As far as the attachments, I'm going with accuracy and stability just so I can get those kills as fast as possible and not really have to worry about anything else. So what I do is I get a kill with the mechanical animal, it procs future perfection, and then I switch over to the harmony. So here is the harmony. 145.4k total damage, that's with 15% rifle damage, 13% crit damage, and 10% damage to targets out of cover. Again, I love having damage to targets out of cover on these weapons. It makes it perfect, I'm telling you. Now with this talent, it comes with perfectly in sync. So hitting an enemy grants me skill damage, and hitting an enemy with a skill grants me weapon damage. However, if I do weapon damage and skill damage together, they get doubled. So, looking at this, hitting an enemy with your weapon grants you 20% skill damage. Using your skill and damage an enemy gives you 20% weapon damage. However, if you do both, you get 40% weapon damage and skill damage. So again, this is vital to have as well. All of these pieces are actually pretty vital. The only thing that is interchangeable is the Wyvernware and the Hardwired. You could probably have Wyvernware gloves if you want, maybe Wyvernware knee pads, holster, what have you. Just make sure that then you put on a Hardwired mask. As long as you have this combination, you should be good to go. And then finally, the sidearm again is the TDI Custom. This is your named card pistol that comes with that +1 skill tier, and then this one has in sync on it. No real rhyme or reason to it, I just still have it on my build. Now looking at the gear items. I have 1 Wyvernware, 1 Hana-U, 1 Providence Defense, and 3 Hardwired gear set items. Starting with the mask. I'm using the Wyvernware mask. Brand set bonus I get out of this is 10% skill damage. So for this mask, it comes with a skill tier. I rolled max skill haste on there at 12%. It came with skill damage at 10%. And then for that mod, I went ahead and threw skill duration on there. And I'll explain to you guys why here in a second. But skill duration, 9.8%. Going to the backpack, this is your Hana-U Corporation backpack. It's actually the named variant, so this one is the Force Multiplier. Now for the Hana-U Corporation brand set bonuses, I get the 10% skill haste. As far as the attributes, it came with a skill tier. I rolled on there max skill damage at 10%. It also came with status effects, which is okay, it doesn't really affect the build. And then again, for the mod, I threw on their skill duration. This one is a lower mod at 7%, but it still gets the job done. You'll see why. Now, the force multiplier, this one comes with perfect combined arms. So shooting an enemy will increase my skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. There is no cooldown on this at all. So you can sit there and just shoot your weapon over and over and over, and it will keep this active as long as you keep doing it. Now going to the gloves, hardwired gloves. Now for the hardwired gear set bonuses I get, skill haste 15%, skill damage 15%, and repair skills of 30%. I'm not really using the repair skills, but I am definitely utilizing the skill haste and skill damage. Now for the hardwired piece, it comes with a skill tier, and then I rolled on there max skill damage. Going to the knee pads, again, hardwired knee pads, skill tier and max skill damage. And then finally the holster, again, hardwired with a skill tier and max skill damage. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle. This is the sacrifice chest piece. This is the named Providence Defense chest piece with perfect glass cannon. So, the brand set bonus I get out of this is the 15% headshot damage. It came with 13.7 weapon damage and also 10.1 skill haste. What I did is I rolled on there max skill damage at 10%, and then for the mod slot I threw on there a max skill duration mod. Now perfect glass cannon, what this does is it amplifies all damage that you deal by 30%. That's a 30% multiplier to your damage. That's really nice. Now the all damage you take is amplified by 60%, which is horrible, but it's okay because you're sitting back, you're letting your skills do the work, you're doing your pop shots to keep your talents active, and you're just mowing through the NPCs. Now the reason I threw skill duration on all 3 of my mods and skill haste on all 3 or 2 of my high ends is because look at the skills. So here is just plain nothing's going on assault turret on paper. I have 122 base damage. That's with 242 duration and a cooldown of 14 seconds. Now 242 duration. That is a 4-minute turret. So I can throw my turret down and it will sit there and fire this insane amount of damage for over 4 minutes straight. And then it takes 14 seconds for it to come back. It's really not bad. Running this through legendary floors on the summit, running this through strongholds, running this through whatever content you want to run this, the turret will outlast the NPCs. I swear. They will not destroy the turret, and with this long of a duration, it will last the entire wave or round or room, whatever it is you're doing. And in fact, it gets to the point where after every engagement, I have to destroy my turret just to try to get it back a little bit faster, because the duration is so long that you have to end up destroying it after the engagement because it's still there and you want to move on and progress through the floors or the level or whatever it is you're doing. So you have a 4-minute turret hitting way up there, 395k by myself. With a team, it gets up to over 440k. And I'm sure with the perfect team, quote unquote perfect team, you could probably get it to hit over 500k. Now looking at the mods that I put on the turret. Starting with the ammo box, this one is a duration mod, 6.3%. For the lubrication gel, 4.5% damage. And then for the carbon fiber barrel, 7.3% skill haste. This is a tier 6 and I do go into overcharge. So with overcharge I get 175% more damage and 560% more health. Now looking at the second skill, this one is vital as well and it comes with the specialization. This is your artificer, whatever. This is your hive that comes with your technician. I call it the artificer. Might be artificer, I don't know. Anyways, what this does is this helps heal and helps buff your skills. So what I do is I throw down my turret and then I'll throw down this artificer hive. And then what this does is it helps keep my hive healthy, and it also keeps my hive, or it keeps my turret healthy and it keeps my turret buffed. So that 4 minutes and 2 seconds of a duration that my turret has, it will stay there at full health and buffed the entire time. Because you see the duration on this hive, 250 seconds, and it has 32 charges. So it's going to stay there just as long as the turret. It's actually quite amazing. You can throw your turret wherever you want in a game, and then just make sure you throw that hive somewhere near it where the hive can actually hit that turret and help heal and buff it. So just keep that in mind. Now as far as the mods that I have on this one, stim efficiency for the blend, for the sensor package range, and then for the cooling mod duration. And yeah, let's finish up with the stat sheet. So this is for the, let's do the harmony. Yeah, let's do the harmony. So for the harmony, I'm sitting at 145k weapon damage. That's with 10% crit chance, 57 crit damage, and 75 headshot damage. Go to the offensive tab, 23.7 all weapon damage with 15 rifle, 15 AR, and 15 pistol. I do have that submachine gun, but I'm not sure why. Going to the defensive tab, I have 726k armor with 292k health. Going down to the explosive resistance is at 9.8, but that's because of my watch level. And then my hazard is at 10%, again because of my watch level. Going down to the skill tiers, I have 57.1 skill haste on my hive and 57.1 skill haste on my turret. Looking at the turret again, 122k damage, and that's just base damage without any of these buffs. Just sitting here, 122k. Now I told you that I would show you how to use it one last time before I let you out of here, so let's go do that. You can test this in the range, very, very easy to do. So if you want to sit there and try to compare your turret build to mine, I'll show you exactly how to do it. So before we enter the range, right here, double check your build. So we have the mechanical animal as a primary, harmony as a secondary, and then all the goodness for the build. Go up in here. What I do is I go to invulnerable elite. That way the target doesn't move, nothing happens. You can just test your numbers. So do invulnerable elite. It doesn't really matter, so I'll just do 5 for the meters. So here we are. So we're at 5 meters. You're at invulnerable elite. You have your mechanical animal in hand. Now what you're going to do is you're going to drop your turret, drop your hive, and then you're going to shoot this target right here. This target right here will die pretty much instantly from your mechanical animal, and then you can switch to your harmony and shoot the target. So here we go. You guys ready? Alright. So get into cover, drop my hive, and then I want to move my artificer hive over here. There we go. And then mechanical animal. So first we'll shoot the target. Alright, and then shoot my red target over here. Boom, there's my overcharge. Shoot the target there. Wait for the hive to actually hit it. And there you go, 395. So that's just by yourself, 395k. Nothing too crazy right there at all. And 323 when the overcharge is gone. Not too shabby. So just under 400k by myself. If I sit there and do it with a team, I've already showed you I could hit 335 or 434k, I believe. And then there was an instance where I hit 440k. But remember, that's based off of your team. So you have to have the right team running specific specializations that help buff you, and they can also run skills and talents that buff you as well. And if you do it with the right team, you could hit 500k fairly easy. Now you can see all the procs there at the bottom of my screen. You can see that the only one that's in white is that perfect future perfection. That's because it's still on cooldown. But every time I shoot this right here, you can see it refreshes my combined arms and it refreshes my perfectly in sync. Not too bad at all. Now the future perfection is up again, so let me try that again. Maybe I can get this to proc again for you guys. Oop, forgot to reload. There we go. Wait for the hive to hit it. And there it is, 395k. Oop, let me do it again. And the future perfection just ran out. So you get 323k without the overcharge, and then 395k with the overcharge. So you can see right here, it's just 323 all day long until I get that overcharge back. But still, not bad at all. 323k without any sort of overcharge is still fairly good in my book. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I know you guys were trying to give me a hard time about my hardwired build, but I mean, when I test and prove it, it's pretty much good to go. The rest is just off of your own personal opinion and playstyle and preference. But yeah, this is the hardest hitting turret build that I've made for you guys. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'm Kamikazevondoom. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.